Hey, good evening, guys. Thanks for joining us. You are here to learn more about getting started with a career in real estate. And so we are just waiting on one or two more people to pop in to the Zoom here, and we'll get started right away. My name is Anna Kibble. I'm the team leader with Keller Williams Real Estate Office in Lone Tree, Colorado. And I am pleased to be with y'all tonight, answer your questions. We're going to cover a few things. We're going to talk about getting into real estate, why people would, some of the benefits, the perks of getting into this industry, what it looks like, the different career options inside of real estate, what you can expect when you get started. And then we're going to take it all the way down to what happens next. So if you've decided to move forward with getting into real estate, what do you have to do? We're going to talk about training and education and the requirements to get started, time frame, out-of-pocket costs, the whole thing. So if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat, and we'll take a moment at the end to where you can come off mute and ask any questions that you have, and we'll kind of go from there. So awesome. It looks like we've got just about everybody joined us here. And so if I have to pause briefly to let anybody in, I apologize for that, but I think we should be ready to go. So welcome. We're going to talk about falling in love with real estate. Obviously, those who are in the industry would tell you it's the best career opportunity there is. I'm absolutely passionate about what I get to do, helping buyers and sellers make some of the biggest purchases of their life, right? Being a part of that story with their family. It's incredibly rewarding. But, it's also a really incredible business opportunity. So that's where I want to start, is talking about the business opportunity. See, real estate sales is really similar to several other kind of small business, self-employed fields, right? When you become a real estate agent, you are an independent contractor, essentially. And so you get to instantly become a small business owner. And when we look at professional fields that also operate as independent contractors, small business owners, what you'll find is that real estate creates a really low cost of entry for that self-employed agent opportunity, right? If you look at similar fields like insurance, right? Insurance agent, a CPA. CPAs either work as employees or as independent contractors, right? Or attorneys even work that way. When you look at the cost of training, education, licensure, and the overhead for getting your business started, real estate is incredibly affordable. And what you're going to see today is that it's even more affordable than it says. For the neighborhood of about $1,500, you can really launch your business and your career and inside of real estate. So it's an incredible opportunity from that standpoint. And if you're at all entrepreneurial and you've been considering a self-employed business opportunity, real estate absolutely makes a lot of sense. You'll find that in this industry, there really is not a financial ceiling. Whereas in a employed opportunity, when you're working with somebody else, there you are exchanging your time for money. And because we all have so many hours in a day and your employer will pay you for so much time, there's absolutely a limit on how much you can earn. In real estate, it works differently. You're no longer exchanging your time for money, or you're exchanging your results for money, and those results may come from a big time investment or a small time investment, and because of that and the different opportunities for leverage inside of this industry, it is definitely unlimited. One person can earn can exponentially increase their earning potential in real estate, especially if you consider the historical average commission in the real estate arena. is usually in the thousands of dollars, right? And right now we're looking at, maybe a $10,000 to $12,000 commission on an average typical home sale. Those add up pretty quickly to be able to give you a really big financial reward for your efforts. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's easy, yet exponentially the number grows pretty quickly. Obviously, as a self-employed person, real estate, you get the freedom to choose your work, right? You could choose the manner and the method in which you grow your business, and there are lots of different ways to do it. However, you'll find that you have the most success when you're following established best practices in the field. And so that's the focused choice piece, right? As a self-employed person, you no longer have a boss or an organization kind of directing and funneling your efforts and telling you what you need to do and how you need to spend your time and what might be the best use of your time, right? Oh, excuse me, just a little in my throat there. So you no longer have somebody telling you the best use of your time. You get to choose how you're using that time. Now, I would highly recommend that you work with a coach, a mentor, or an advisor to help you make focused choices of your time. Because remember, you're no longer exchanging time for money, right? You're exchanging results for money. And so you want to focus on the activities that bring you results. It's less about the time you spend and more about how you spend that time. You also obviously have a flexible schedule. Of real estate as a self-employed person, you're no longer subject to your employer's requirements of when you need to be reporting to work. Now, I will tell you this, obviously, residential real estate sales tend to happen and clients tend to be available on evenings and weekends. So you will see that you may have heavier client needs on the evenings and weekends. But as you'll see in this example here, you could really schedule your week so it works for you and schedule your clients inside of that. Lots of real estate agents report being able to have the flexibility to attend events with their kids at school or participate in sports, make it to every single game, right? Take on extracurricular activities. It's not uncommon for Tuesdays to be a ski day for real estate agents, right? Because you get that flexibility inside of your schedule. Now, remember, right? Flexibility to choose your hours does not include no hours, right? You absolutely do have to put time in the results in this industry. So you're going to want to designate time that you're not only working with clients, but that you're working to obtain clients and hone your skill inside of this industry. So like any business, there's definitely some elbow grease that goes inside of that. So keep that in mind. Now, if you are choosing to work fewer hours in your business, you have to be even more laser focused on where you spend that time. Since, like I said, you're not exchanging time for money anymore, you're exchanging results for money. So you want to make sure that your time is focused on where you're going to get the best results. Along that same line, right? You get that high financial return for effort given. And this goes back to that exchange of time for money, right? You're not receiving a paycheck for putting in 40 hours. So if you can get the results you want in 20 hours a week, why not work 20 hours a week? Or what if you worked 50 hours and doubled the results and got double the income that you were looking, right? It's much more about the effort and the results you're getting with that effort. One of my favorite things about the real estate industry, obviously, is we have an inside opportunity to invest. Investing in real estate is very different than investing in other means, like mutual funds or the stock market or other investment opportunities. Because you're going to have firsthand knowledge about the industry and about what's going on, you almost have an insider opportunity. Yet there's no such thing as insider trading in real estate. It's absolutely acceptable to walk into a listing appointment and ask, should I buy this property or should I list it? All of the best deals in real estate pass through real estate agents' hands. So not asking that question, I think, is a huge disservice to ourselves as we're building our own wealth. Some of you are probably already real estate investors. Show of hands or put it in the chat box if you currently own your own property or own multiple properties. Yeah, that's what I thought. I've got a couple of you here who already invest in real estate. And it's really common when we're investing in real estate already to become excited about getting into the industry as a whole, right? Because you've already gotten a little bit of a taste of what it looks like, and yet it's one of the biggest opportunities that we have inside of this industry, is the ability to build our wealth through building our real estate portfolio. And like I said, incredibly rewarding, right? To be a part of something so monumental in somebody's life. You know, it's what a lot of us get into this for. We're people in most cases, and this is a relationship business. And, you know, I'll tell you what, I believe fiercely that real estate agents help protect Americans' net worth. Right? We help make the dream of home ownership obtainable for Americans. And inside of that, we represent a free market with expert negotiation so that people are on an even playing field with one another when they're negotiating real estate, which truly helps to maximize the equity that they have in their property, as opposed to, and you may have think this in the news, as opposed to, you know, big companies and corporations like Zillow and Opendoor stepping into the real estate sphere, where they desire nothing more but to turn this into a car dealership type atmosphere. And, you know, if you think about the last car you bought, you didn't have an expert on your side representing you. It was you representing yourself against expert negotiators with complex financing and a whole bunch of unwritten rules, right? And I don't believe that that's a fair or responsible way to transition something that such an enormous impact on the lives of others, right? It turns this asset into a commodity. And quite honestly, it's a disservice to the American people. So the fact that you're interested in exploring real estate means you likely have a heart for helping to make sure that others navigate this transaction in a really responsible manner. And kudos to you for that. It's so important to keep that in mind. Obviously, we get to be a part of that. We get to help people transition into homeownership or help through that homeownership process. And Americans who own homes have a 45 times greater net worth, if you can believe that, 45 times. So that's absolutely incredible. It's also a really fun voyeur job. Now, these are real MLS photos from actual homes that have been listed. We see some incredible things while we're showing houses, and sometimes they're just plain funny. Other times they're you know, like they walked right out of a TV show. Now, I don't know what TV show this walked right out of. You'll notice the coordinating ivy print on the tablecloth, the bed linens, and the wallpaper there. Lots of fun. This is a stunner. I don't know if you can tell this, but there are paper towel holders and like a sink in there. It looks like it could be a kitchen. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of this room is, but it's a lot. It probably is in the same house as this bathroom on the stairwell. And this is not the only I've seen, by the way. I don't know how it got popular, but it's a thing. Not so much Denver metro area, but you'll see it. It's definitely very intense. So I'm just going to stop sharing the screen for just a minute here. What you'll expect as you're getting into real estate is that there are really three different segments of the industry that becoming a licensed real estate agent will allow you to practice in. Now, most people who are interested in getting into real estate or are talking to me about a company like Keller Williams, well, you're interested in residential real estate, which is helping individuals and investors with residential single and multifamily properties, residential land, condos, townhouses, all of those types of residential properties, either for their primary residence or secondary residence or a vacation home or an investment property, but primarily dealing with urban and suburban residential property, right? Inside of residential estate, there's also definitely land or rural real estate. Can be just a little bit different, a little more complicated. And once that land gets big, right, it's more agricultural real estate, which would fall into the next segment, which is commercial real estate. Commercial real estate is a fair amount more complex typically than residential real estate, but there are so many different specialties inside of commercial real estate, from medical, retail, and even multifamily can fall into commercial real estate. Storage, agricultural, industrial. There's so many different types of commercial real estate, and typically people get into commercial real estate after getting out of college with a finance or MBA or a real estate related degree. But it can happen that it's a secondary opportunity as well. So something to consider, a little more specialized, tends to be very much more analytical in nature, and that leads us to property management. So currently it is required that you have a real estate license to get into the field of property management if you're going to be doing any negotiations or representing owners with negotiations. And so property management is very much a different segment of the real estate population as well. And it entails representing property owners and property renters in the coordination of that transaction, managing and maintaining those properties for the owners and the landlords. So something a little bit different, and conversations we can definitely have. However, for the purpose of the rest of this information, we're going to be really diving into residential real estate and what that looks like. Now, keep in mind that when you become when you get your real estate license, you'll need to do a couple of things, and we'll get into that in just a second. But you'll partner with a real estate brokerage when you have your real estate license, and that partnership will happen as an independent contractor. So you'll work with that brokerage as an independent contractor, which instantly kind of puts you into that small business owner category, right? And as that sole proprietor, self-employed, small business owner, it's important to know that this is most definitely a commission-based industry. You will most commonly be paid strictly commission off of your closings. There's no taxes or anything like that withheld from your commission checks. So it's just straight 1099, self-employed, independent contractor relationship. There are definitely some health benefit options available as well, but know that most real estate agents don't qualify for the corporate group plans that you're familiar with in the employed industry. So it looks a little bit different. And these are things to consider as you're getting into the industry, because there are ways to obtain health insurance and to do those things as a self-employed individual. Yet when you and I sit down to talk about getting started with Keller Williams, we're going to be interviewing each other, but it's not exactly like a job interview. At the end of the day, if we agree to partner together, I won't be hiring you like I would hire an employee and promising a salary, benefits, and all of those pieces. Now, quite often when people think about getting into real estate, they know that this is a commission-based industry. I mean, that's fairly common knowledge, right? So it makes sense that you might look for a paid position in the real estate industry to be able to learn a little bit more about it as you're getting started as a real estate agent. And so maybe as an assistant or an administrator, or even working in a real estate brokerage, answering the phones and things of that nature. I'd share with you a couple of things. And the first, that those opportunities are available. However, they're fairly few and far between. So if you're thinking that's the route you want to go, I would start looking for an opportunity like that, as opposed to kind of waiting last minute to see if you can, become hired on in one of those positions. Also know, however, that they're not always looking for people who are interested in being in real estate for these real estate related positions. They tend to be more administrative in nature, and working for a real estate agent or working for a real estate brokerage may not actually help you get better, more familiar with the industry. You may just be doing some, marketing or other administrative work. So if that's something you're thinking about or considering, feel free to reach out to me. I'll go ahead and put my contact information in the chat. We can have a conversation about further. Real estate, because it's so flexible, does have the opportunity for you to get started in what we'd call a dual career, which would mean you would hang on to your main source of income and employment while you're getting real estate, maybe on a part-time basis. Now, this is how a lot of people end up transitioning into the industry. And then as your real estate business goes, you're able to walk away from a day job. The upside of that, obviously, is you have the income you need to transition into a commission-only environment, right? You're able to establish your business and maybe even put a little bit aside as savings for a safety net, right, inside of that. But the flip side to this, it actually ends up taking longer because you're not able to devote as much time to getting started in your business. So if you're interested in getting into real estate and we walk through the rest of this and you're like, yes, that makes a lot of sense, I'm excited to get started, it might be something that you consider jumping into as a complete career change. What I've seen is that agents who do get started full-time tend to reach their initial income goals a lot quicker in the industry. So happy to talk with you about that one-on-one as you're getting through real estate pre-licensing curriculum and getting ready to obtain your license, which is what we're going to talk about next. So should you, let me put this back up on the screen for you guys. There we go. All right. Should you consider getting into real estate and you want to know what happens next? Well, here we go. How to get started. There's a few things that are required before you're able to represent others in the sale of real estate. And so the first thing there is you'll need to have your real estate license. To get your real estate license, you'll attend a pre-licensing school program and go get fingerprinted to have a background check. And then once you do qualify for your license, you'll partner with a brokerage and you'll launch your business. And so we'll talk about those pieces here. Pre-licensing school. So To be eligible to take your state and national exam and get your real estate license, you do have to have 168 credit hours of a coordinated pre-licensing school program. Now, there are several different pre-licensing schools, and they will lay out for you exactly what hours you need and what courses you need to take. Their programs are built to encompass everything that's required by the Colorado Division of Real Estate. So you don't have to worry about the specifics, like I need to have so many hours of contractual law and so many hours of of federal real estate experience, right? You can you can take that course kind of in bulk and get that 168 hours, and they'll break down what the specifics of that are. And there are a few different ways to tackle that pre-licensing course as well. Obviously, as I mentioned, you can get a degree in real estate. Now, if you were thinking about getting a degree in real estate, then that's absolutely an option. Typically, however, not your quickest path into residential real estate. Right. So most people will opt for a pre-licensing school course, and there are plenty of them available. Some of them are in person. Even right now during COVID, you can still find some in-person options. There are some hybrid options as well that provide either in-person or face-to-face via Zoom, just like we're doing now, information and kind of self-paced online information. And then there's the online only option. This tends to be the most affordable of all of the options, where you're going self-paced through the material online, utilizing recorded resources, as opposed to having live access to instructors. So it really depends on what your learning style is, but I'll tell you, all of these courses are really designed to take place over the course of about 2 or 3 months. That's the average amount of time people will spend in pre-licensing courses, 2 to 3 months. And that's working on it maybe a night a week and a day or a half a day on the weekend, right? Now, if you have more time to devote to it, you can get through it a lot quicker. I've seen people get through these courses in as little as 2 weeks. Or if it takes more time because of what you've got going on, that works as well. We do actually offer a hybrid program based out of our office. And so you'll get some more information about and you probably have it already, but we'll have some more information about that here towards the end of the presentation, and you'll get an email with some of that as well. So this course is based online and can move at your own pace, but then there are weekly sessions with the instructor live over Zoom like this, with some pre-planned lessons as well as plenty of time for Q&A. So if there's anything you're running into. And because you've attended one of our career events, you'll actually get a discount. So I believe their program, well, I have it up here on a slide here in a minute, but you'll get a pretty substantial discount for having attended this career presentation. So definitely worth checking out there. So after you get through the real estate school portion, you will, went too far. You'll need to take your state national exam. You'll take them both at the same time, and there's just a small examination fee when you do that. Now, something to keep in mind, these are these are tricky exams, and a lot of us are adult learners who've been out of a testing environment for quite some time. So it's not at all uncommon to unfortunately have to take those exams more than once. So just something to keep in mind, and they'll tell you all about it when you get into real estate school. They're designed to be tricky. So it is what it is. It doesn't have any bearing, any impact on what happens next in your career, whether you have to take it, if you pass it on the first time or you have to take it 5 or 10 times. I mean, it really doesn't matter. And then you'll have your background check processed. You'll need to go to an approved facility, and your real estate school will have all the information on where to find one of those. You'll get your fingerprints done and verify your identification documents. And then you'll be able to apply for your real estate license. So the whole cost of the licensing and pre-licensing school can be relatively affordable depending on what choice you pick for your real estate school option. And that application fee gives you your real estate license for your first year. And then there's a renewal fee that's similar. It's just a little less than that application fee after your first year, and then you'll go on a 3-year cycle. So there's not a substantial out-of-pocket cost to that license application piece. And as I mentioned, once you've applied for your real estate license, you'll partner with a real estate brokerage. That real estate brokerage is responsible for supervising your licensed activities for your first 2 years. You'll need to partner with brokerage. Many agents, however, do choose to partner with a brokerage long after that because, well, particularly at Keller Williams, you might be surprised to hear that we don't sell real estate. We're the largest real estate company in the world, and our agents sell more real estate than any other brokerage firm, but that's our agents. Keller Williams' job is to support our real estate agents. And it's that partnership that helps you to launch a really successful business. You'll partner with a real estate brokerage when you get your real estate license. So when we look at the differences between the real estate brokerages, they kind of fall into a few different categories, right? And here they are. There's the dependent, the independent, and the interdependent model. Dependent model, a traditional real estate brokerage, will actually support your business in such a way that you become dependent on them to continue being in business. The downfall of that is you tend to, you tend to have a lower financial share in that. So you're paying more to that brokerage. And it makes it harder for you to be able to have opportunities to accumulate wealth or to build a business of your own design. If you have a real vision for what it is you're looking to build, then working in that dependent model could actually be a detriment to the real estate agent and their entrepreneurial nature, right? Now, on the other side of the spectrum are independent brokerage firms. And in those firms, the real estate agent tends to bring home a higher percentage of that commission split, yet at a cost. It's one of those you get what you pay for scenarios, right? So SIBS models, training, support, coaching, and mentoring would be limited inside of the environment where you're really kind of a sole proprietor, independent contractor on an island doing your own thing. As you can imagine, especially when you're getting started in such a complicated field like real estate, most agents would choose not to get started in that avenue. And some experienced agents will go that route, but most will end up in a partnership with a brokerage that helps to support their business. And that's what we've designed here at Keller Williams, where we truly believe that our job is to support the agent's business and achieving whatever goals you desire. And so inside of that, we've established a system of best practices and systems and models to help you adopt to run an incredibly successful real estate business. At the same time, we know that success comes from learning, and being learning-based is one of the foundations to excelling in your field. And so we're actually a very learning-based and training-based company. In fact, we've been awarded the #1 training company many times. In fact, we're in the Training Magazine Hall of Fame as a result of that. But across all industries, not just in real estate. So training is definitely a huge piece of what we do, as well as that support and supervision and inside of your real estate business. So when you get started, there are a few different options as far as the support in your business. As you can imagine, being an independent contractor on an island by yourself would give you a very low level of support, especially in an industry that's new to you. So most companies will will provide what they call a mentor, or introduce you to somebody who could be a mentor, which makes a lot of sense, especially in a high skilled environment like real estate. So that mentor would be, responsible for kind of sharing with you what they do inside of their business and maybe helping you along inside of the real contract. We found that relationship just simply doesn't go far enough to help real estate agents build a successful business, because what you're learning is the way that one person does their business, and so your growth is really limited to what they've developed. And quite honestly, that mentor is usually still in the field selling real estate themselves. And while that sounds like it may be a benefit, they're typically more focused on their own business and growing that business than helping you to support you in growing your business, right? So there's definitely a benefit in working with somebody who's an expert in the field, though, and being able to watch and see and shadow them and have hands-on opportunity. So, that's what we've developed here at Keller Williams. We bring new agents into what we call our coaching program. And inside of our coaching program, you're not just able to shadow work with experienced agents who are well established in the business, so you can see what it looks like and feels like. But you're working with professionally trained business coaches, so that you have the opportunity to really build a solid real estate business. While you're learning the industry and to capitalize on your unlimited earning potential. It also allows us to ensure that that the real estate coach you're working with is teaching you not just what works for them, but industry best practices. And you're getting the very best information that you can have to pass along to your buyers and sellers, ultimately to cause you to be more successful more quickly inside of the industry. The next step up would be the team environment. And so at Keller Williams, we work with many real estate teams. And so the best way to describe a real estate team is it's a really unusual kind of entity, but it's almost like a small family-owned business. So imagine that you're a successful real estate agent, and there comes a point where you really are taking on as much business can handle as a single agent. And so to be able to grow your business past that, you might need to bring in some administrative help or another agent to help you showing properties or with buyers or work with sellers. And that's how the real estate team typically starts. It's kind of organic, where busy real estate agent is bringing in others to work with them. And sometimes it grows in a more strategic, or where busy real estate agent is purposefully adding more people into their business so that they can do even more business and create more opportunities for real estate agents, right? So the real estate team creates a real collaborative environment where you're sharing systems, standards, and models, and you're working inside of essentially someone else's small business. Typically, however, on that real estate team and in that team environment, you're still an independent contractor, a 1099 associate. So something to consider. If you're considering a team opportunity, or if this sounds like it might be appealing to you as you're going through real estate school, I'd be happy to sit down and share with you what that looks like, or even introduce you to some teams who may be hiring right now. So definitely something to keep in mind. And we talked a little bit about Keller Williams' reputation in the industry, and so obviously we're one of the most well-known real estate companies in the world, and more agents choose to work with us than any other real estate company. And we're also fairly well decorated, right? We're recognized in the industry as a leader inside of what we do. And if you know anyone who's worked with Keller Williams, then you've probably heard that we're the place for new agents to go. We're also the place for experienced agents to build really big businesses, but we've definitely got a great reputation in the industry for helping agents launch their career. And should you choose to step forward into real estate, we'd love the opportunity to help you launch your business too. So never mind the dates here, as this course is in process, right? But that doesn't mean you can't get started. We were talking earlier about Rocky Mountain Real Estate School, the school that runs, out of our office here. And the great thing about this is the on portion is self-paced and you can do it anytime. And then these live in-person Zoom classes restart every month or two. So you'll be able to catch the next one if you need to, but they're also recorded and on demand. So you'll be able to catch up on anything that you missed in the event that, that you sign up now. You'll still be able to catch, the last couple of weeks, but if you wanted to get started on the online portion. And then once they release their dates here for the March session, you'd be able to hop into those live as well. So definitely a phenomenal option there. And like I said, because you've heard about them through our career seminar, they've got a $250 discount for you. So you can register online. It's typically $750 for the entire course, and with the discount code, you only pay $500 for it. And so here's their information. I'll leave it up on the screen so that you can screenshot it if you want to. But you'll also get an email with this information as well from Carrie or from Adrienne, whoever it is that we can thank for inviting you here tonight. So go to www.rmresschool.com, which stands for Rocky Mountain Real Estate School.com, and you'll use the discount code 250 off to get that discount and pay only $500 for that pre-licensing course. Definitely take a look at that. Matt is the owner and one of the instructors and can answer any questions you have. But their website's really easy to navigate and answers most of those questions. So I'd encourage you to start there. And if it sounds like you're ready to move forward, go ahead and sign up now, and you can get started on the online portion. They'll also be sending you actual textbooks for the course as well. So you'll get those within a couple of days of signing up. Here's me and my information. Like I said, I'm the team leader here at the Keller Williams office in Lone Tree, and I'm so excited that you're interested in a career in real estate, and I would love to have the opportunity to get to know you. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions after this, or even just to let me know that you're getting started in real estate school. That would be phenomenal. I can't tell you what this industry has done for me. Just a little bit of background. I have a history in restaurant and retail management. I think, like a lot of people right now, that industry didn't really serve me very well. And so I started looking for an opportunity, an industry where I felt like I was paid, I was rewarded financially for the effort I was giving. I tell you, I always liked the hardest working person I knew. And it was always so discouraging, especially, I got out of the retail management industry during the recession and got into real estate. So it was 2010. And to see the hours putting in, effort I was putting in go up while pay was going down was incredibly frustrating, obviously. I was working nonstop and never seemed to get anywhere. So, I really did my research and looked at other industries to get into, and felt that with my service and my people background, that real estate would be a really good fit for me. And so that was almost 10 years when I got started in real estate. celebrating my 10th anniversary here in just a couple of weeks. I've never looked back, right? What I found in this industry is it's 100% that you get out of it what you put into it. And so if you're coming out of an industry where you feel like you are the hardest working person you know, right, then come and be the hardest working person you know for yourself. It's incredibly rewarding to be able to work with folks, I mean, in all walks of life, right? Whether it's a first-time home buyer who, you know, who's making that investment, taking that leap, you know, to being able to move up in life, expand your family, and be a part of that, journey with somebody else. Obviously, we're in an HGTV era, and real estate and design are trendy. They're common topics of water cooler conversation, right? And so getting into the industry is also a great way for people who are passionate about those things to have impact on others and be able to use your passion and your knowledge to help home sell and in marketing and advertising properties. Definitely a piece there. Investors, yes, I see you're looking to work with investors, and you've done some real estate investing before. And you know, one of my friends inside of the business, he actually got into real estate because he was a real estate investor, and the agent working with was just never called him back. Right? He would refer his friends to his agent, and the agent would, you know, never talk to him. So we thought, well, it can't be that hard. I'll go ahead and get my real estate license. And, you know, all these years later, he's not only helped his friends, but his friends' friends, and has built a really healthy investment portfolio himself. So there's a ton of opportunity in there inside of the real estate industry. So I'm going to just kind of keep this open for a couple of minutes here. If you have any other questions or comments. Oh, good. I see that you're getting ready to get signed up. You're on the website, right, for Rocky Mountain Real Estate School. I love that. That's absolutely phenomenal. And I look forward to having an opportunity to work with you and to work with all of you. So feel free to reach out to me at any time. My contact info is there in the chat. And I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Take care and have a great evening. Bye, guys.